In the current turn of events in New Ireland, we are at the crossroad right now. A lot of people are asking what's going to happen, and in my recent article I released the simplified version of the organic law and basically the constitution in which an acting governor will be elected, and of course looking forward to the by-elections depending on when the national government will release the funding. That's another story, which if you want to know more, you can visit my page on Zero Media and have a read of 2 articles that I released last week in regards to that matter in detail. Now, this video is basically to reach out to the people of New Ireland. Hopefully by the end of this video, shine a new light into the perspective of New Islanders as resource owners and the power that lies with the people of New Ireland, like every other part of Papua New Guinea. Now, we know that Papua New Guinea corruption is thriving, and we have an economic crisis that is elevated the crime rate all across the nation, and New Ireland is no exception. We're facing the same problems here. I used to work in a political office before I came back to New Ireland. I was away for 10 years, and after 10 years of coming back to New Ireland, I was appalled at the state of how politics was being run in the province. Now, when I came back into the province, working in a political office before coming back gave me the leverage of knowing the ins and outs of politics. And coming back into the province, I had so much energy and drive as a small micro business owner in my field as a media person, and so I didn't waste time. I hit the ground running, knocking on doors, submitting proposals, wanting to work, wanting to collaborate. This was my chance of giving back to the people of New Ireland, getting information out there. Video documentaries was my niche, and so I wanted to do it with so much passion. And because I had that access in Kimbe, where I used to work before, I had that impression that it would be peanuts. But I was due for a surprise. I started knocking on doors, and of course the wait, there was this season where I was in limbo when there was no response. And you know how when you submit a proposal or you submit an invoice, and the wait, and after follow-ups and endless follow-ups, you just, eventually the morale dies. So it was at that point when one of my very close sisters, former colleague, kind of broke the reality to me that, my dear, you cannot just walk in and submit a proposal. You have to be part of the political party. So that, you could, shock doesn't even come close to doing justice to how I felt receiving that news. I started asking around, like, why? Why do I have to be part of a political party in order to get a project with the government? And, well, let's say 99.9% of the people that I asked, people that are close to me, they said, you don't want to go into details. You don't want to be asking questions. You're going to be piecing people. You're going to be stepping on people's toes, and you're going to put the whole lot of us at risk. So that was kind of like a hush and I started to tone down what I would say, my enthusiasm, or my being out there and being free to speak my mind and to say what I wanted. I started being more cautious of what I would say in front of people, and that's what I think has pushed people and suppressed people to that point that we New Islanders are so scared of coming out and talking about this because we've been suppressed for so long. Now, getting my set of skills and knowledge and the exposure that I've had outside of the province, I landed a job at one of the political office here in New Ireland. And as soon as part of the job was, it required me to travel out of caving and work at another district. So as soon as I was there, I had a very good sister of mine that I hadn't seen for 10 years, very close. We went to school together. So the moment I had a chance, I picked up the phone and I said, hey, do you want to have dinner? Bring your husband and we can have dinner tonight or tomorrow night whenever you're free. So in a soft voice, she asked me, and I tell you, if I tell you I wasn't ready for this, I was not ready for this. She asked me, who are you with? And I said, well, it's I've got two other guys from the office here, but yeah, I'm good, I'm here. And she said, oh my dear, we can't come with their guys from the office there. And I said, why? And she said, do you want to lose your job? Do you want to lose your job? And that, I was taken aback by that question. And I said, why would I lose my job? I'm a qualified professional. I'm here because based on merit and my qualifications to work for this high office. And so she said, around here things do not work that way. We are supporters of the opposing political parties, so we cannot be seen with you, talking to you, around you, having dinner, socializing with you. If you want to see me, then you'll have to see me at a different time, at a different place. So I was shocked. I was dumbfounded. For me, this is not the New Ireland that I used to know as a child growing up. We used to be free, liberated, beyond, like we would say and do whatever we want to say. So for me, it was really shocking. Anyway, the other scenario was when I was having dinner at one point with one of my colleagues in the office. I was invited to their family home to have dinner, and in the middle of the dinner, she was called to attend to one of her brothers who was being stabbed. So we had to go to the hospital because it was an emergency. When we were in the hospital, we were told that they went into a heated argument with the brother who was thrown out of the family block because he was supporting the opposing party. So, and then he ended up in hospital. So that was how serious it got. And that for me was, it brought me back to what my friends and families said to me, that how dangerous and risky it would be if you want to, meddle into the political affairs of the people that are holding power in New Ireland. So that was something that really, it was scary, and it was a light bulb moment for me, basically, to see, and it was really saddening to see how far back we have been manipulated to the point where there is so much demarcation that we are not one people like we used to be before. This is not the New Ireland that I used to know as a child growing up. And so it has come to this point where I feel now is the time for me to say this to every New Islander who is out there, that we need to bring back the value of our people and our culture, and we need to know who we are, especially in this time when we are on the verge of electing a leader and we want to see liberation for our little people back at home. So this is just the first part of this story, and do follow me for the second part of this story, as I am going to unveil the other part where we see the advantage that we have as resource owners in our own land, who are supposed to be by birthright benefiting from the resources that God has given us. And it is not by mistake that we are placed as guardians, as caretakers of those resources in our own land. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're going to follow me. The Facebook articles are going to be put in the bio link for you to follow, and do keep watching for the next episode of this series, where we try to save New Ireland.